standards that I think you should make for your blog is to categorize your lesson plans. Now, when I say categorize your lesson plans on your blogs, I'm saying that you have a widget called categories. And when you add a lesson plan, it's a requirement that you list the standards that are in that lesson plan. Like you see here on Miss Yoder's blog, she has those standards listed. And I think that it makes it a whole lot easier for you to turn around and disaggregate your data at any point of the year, including at the end of the year, if you assign that lesson plan post to the standards that are covered. So for instance, looking at hers, in her week's lesson plan, she covers 9.01, 05, 06, 08, 09, 13, 18, 19, 24, and 26. So when she created this lesson plan, all she had to do is assign it to the category that covered those numbers, those standards, and then it keeps track for her. So anytime during the year, if she wants to know which standards she's covered, she can look at her categories widget and see which ones she's covered and how many times at that point. Or if she's disaggregating a test or a benchmark and she sees that, for instance, 9.26 might be a problem for her students, she can click on 9.26 and it pulls up all 3 lesson plans that cover that standard. So it's pretty simple to do. I'm going to walk you through that process. First thing you want to do is to go find your standards on the TEA site and just pull them up on the page like this. So I just pulled up the ones for ELA, since those are the ones I was familiar with from the middle school. And you're going to want to do 2 things. One, I think you always want to create a page like Miss Yoder did on hers that have all the standards so the parents can see, or the administrator can see, or you can see them all in one place. And then we're going to take and piece those out to create those categories. So for now, I'm going to go ahead and grab all of them for 6th grade, since that's the one that's at the top. And I'm just highlighting them for now. There we go, that's through the bottom. And I'm just going to copy those. And then I'm going to go back over to my blog. This is the one that you may have seen earlier. This is just a kind of a demo blog for me. I'm going to create a new page to post them all on. So I'm going to go to Pages, Add New. And then I'm going to title it 6th grade ELA TEKS. I'm going to click on the Visual tab and I'm just going to paste them all in there. So that way they're all listed right there. If anybody wants to go see them, they can. I'm going to turn off commenting on this page just because I don't know why they would want to leave a comment, but that's your choice if you want to do that or not. So I'm going to hit Publish. And then now when you refresh that blog, you'll see a new page that says 6th grade ELA TEKS. So they can click on it and then they'll be able to see the standards for that. Now, let's talk about how you can make them into categories for each of your blog posts. You're going to go back into Posts, click on Posts just so you can see all the options underneath it. And one of them is Categories, and we're going to click on that. And you're going to see that your categories are listed out to the right-hand side. And you can see where I've already created some standards for the Tech Apps course. So I'm going to show you how to make your own. So you can go over here and let's go back to the top of the 6th grade standards. Alright, that's past the, let's see, that's the introduction. I'm not going to include that. We're going to go straight to the TEKS, which I've missed. Here they are, knowledge and skills. So number 1 is just by itself. It just says 1. So I'm going to copy that section. I'm going to go back over into my Categories tab. I'm going to call it, you can call it whatever you like if you just want to call it the number if it's the only course you teach. I'm going to call mine ELA 6.01. Now it's important that you put the 0 in there so that way it stays in the correct order on the blog. If you just put 6.1 or whatever your standard number is, if you just put the 0.1, then it's going to go from 1, then it'll go to 10, 11, 12. It won't go to 1, 2, 3, 4. So you got to put the 0 in there. I'm going to paste the standard that I just copied into the description box. And I don't have a parent for this one. And a parent just means it would be another category that it would fall under. I'm not going to do that. If you do multiple courses on one blog, you might want to add that to it. But that's your choice. So I'll go ahead and I'll add English just so I can show you how that works. But you don't have to add anything if it's the only subject you teach. Then I'm going to click Add New Category, and there it is. And notice it's got the little dash which shows it right under English. Now I'm going to go back over. I'm going to grab 2. Now notice 2 has subsections A through E. What I do is I just include them all in the same one. But if you're the type that you really need those separated, so you would have 2A, 2B, 2C, then that's your choice to do that. I'm going to go back in here. I'm going to create this. I'm going to follow the same pattern that I did earlier. ELA 6.02 under the English parent. I'm going to paste them, add new category, and there it is. You can see it's a little longer one now. And I know it shows it first, but when it lists on the blog, it won't. That's just showing you it's my most recent one that it's been created. Okay, so let's say that I've gone through and I've done that for all of the, let's see how many, 20 something, 28 standards for 6th grade. Now I'm going to go back over and I'm going to create a post because I don't have to do anything to save what I've done already. It's automatically saving. So then this is how it comes in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to create a new post. And let's see, test post English. I'm going to put 6th grade. Well, let me just show you, like we talked about doing lesson plans. 6th grade, ELA, lesson plans, week, whatever to whatever. You know, the dates that you put on there. And I've posted my lesson plans in here. And I'm going to cover both ELA 6.01 and 6.2. So I'm going to just go ahead and check both of those over in the categories box. And that's really all I need to do, because then I can hit publish. I've got my title, my lesson plan, and the category that I'm assigning it to. And I'm going to click publish. And it'll come up. And then when I go out to the blog, I'm going to refresh the blog. And I'm going to scroll down to the categories, ELA 601 and 602. Now notice you don't see English above it. I can actually fix that. I could force it to nest itself under there. I would actually go into the widgets for that. And it's an option in my categories widget. Show hierarchy. And notice I've clicked show post counts. I want to know how many lesson plans I've tied to that standard. It makes it easier for me to know what I've covered and what I need to cover more of. It makes it easy for evaluation purposes from the administrator or in any type of a curriculum audit to see what standards you've covered and how often. And like I said, it makes it extremely easy at the end when you're disaggregating either benchmark or state testing data and you want to find that specific standard that you've drilled down to, and you can go right there and see how many times you've covered it and click on it and see all the lesson plans that you did. So I've saved that. I'm going to close that, and then I'm going to go refresh, and watch over here on the right. See, it says ELA 60102. It's about to nest itself under English. And see how it nests itself real nice, and it shows that I have 2 lessons under there now because I'd already had one under that I just assigned to English. So that's not that I have these 2 added to it. That's just because I had one under English, so don't let that confuse you. So if you have multiple classes, that would be kind of nice. If you teach English 1, English 2, and English 3, you could have them all separated. Or if you have different types of sciences that you teach, you could have them separated. And I can just click on that one or that one to see what lesson plans cover the standards, or click on the parent category and see all the lesson plans for that. All right, so hopefully that answered any questions you might have. If you have any others that you want to follow up on, feel free to call me or shoot me an email. And I am more than happy to walk you through this in person, and we'll get you set up. I really think this is a standard that a lot of our staff have started following, and I think it's the most efficient process for posting those lesson plans and having them archived in the future to know what's been covered in your classroom.